My name is Marcell Hanson, and you're listening to Small Habits, Big Changes. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome to today's episode. The one thing that I've done over the past several years that has completely changed my wellness is meal prep. Stick around for today's episode. We're going to discuss a couple easy tips on how you can prep your meals for the entire week, saving you time, money, and energy. Let's dive in. I want to start with a text we received from one of our community members, Melissa. She writes in regarding meal prep. I think that some of the issues that she has struggled with, we all have struggled with. I applaud her for sending in the request. She's really just looking for some support around how she can prep meals better for both her little one and herself. So Melissa writes in a quick text. This is from a couple weeks back. She says, I've been following my stable table regimen for several years. I do really well with hydration. I've definitely got a daily walk. I have a 3.5-year-old and we are out often. Pushing her in the stroller is an easy way for me to sneak in my minutes. Often I like to do this when she's napping, so it's really some me time. Great way to double up an activity there. Nice job, Melissa. She goes on to say, what I'm really struggling with is meal prep. I have been successful in the past, but it seems to only last for a couple weeks and then I lose momentum. Help. How can I get back on the wagon? Melissa, thanks so much for the text. And the truth is that happens. It happens to the best of us. I'll share with you a little bit about how I try and get ahead of it. And then certainly any of you who have tips and tricks that you use, please throw them into the comments below. I think a community that learns from one another is most beneficial. Like we really can manage through our day-to-day without recreating the wheel because somebody out there has done something that would benefit us on our journey. So please feel free to enter into the comments down there things that have worked for you in this application. So Melissa writes she has been doing quite well in the first 2 pillars of my stable table. She's got her hydration down. That's awesome. That's a big first step. She's doing great with exercise, having a little one around. Same as when I was raising a little one, pushing the stroller is something you got to do anyway. If you get lucky and they fall asleep, then you have that time to yourself. It usually ends up being much more than 10 minutes, but you certainly can utilize that 10 minutes and fulfill your regimen for the day. But on to meal planning, which tends to be the one that a lot of people get a little stuck on and need a little extra support. I like to personally, I've had a chef for years. And so I got into the habit of not doing any grocery shopping, not doing any meal prep, not doing any recipe creation. All I did, not even doing the storage or the parsing out or any of that. Literally, my chef make it, put it in the fridge or freezer, and I was in charge of the eating. Now, that's actually still the case, but intermittent, when I put a pause on that or I want to travel or what have you, I have found that having a little bit of a stockpile in the freezer is such a great thing. So what I like to do is to have a bit of a backup, a bit of a stockpile in the freezer that helps me even out the days where maybe I fall short with my meal prep. Maybe I lose the whole week because I traveled on a Sunday and I missed that prep time and I couldn't quite fit it into my schedule on Monday or Tuesday. And I knew I was going to have lunch with a friend on Wednesday. And so then, I didn't know what I was going to do. That stockpile in the freezer is a blessing. So having a nice rich stew, maybe if you eat meat, then, a chicken or a beef stew with vegetables, a light curry, any kind of heavier soup freezes really well and also thaws really well and can be taken out, within a day. If you have an air fryer, you can put it in there. You can leave it in the sink with some warm water in there to thaw it a bit before either baking it or air frying it or throwing it into a saucepan. This kind of preparation allows for really it allows the flexibility for falling short on your weekly meal prep. Now, I meal prep about twice a week, whether it's the juice that I'm making, my celery juice or another juice, or my almond milk or pumpkin pancakes. But aside from that, all my meals are prepped for me from a local chef. And and then I have a stockpile in the freezer as well of stews, of curries, of heavier soups. So at any time, even if the night before I'm like, oh, I don't have tomorrow's lunch planned because I was out of town. I maybe have 3 more days. Maybe it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I need to eat cleanly because that supports my working out. It also helps me sleep well. And just for overall balance, I like to keep a very clean diet. In a pinch, it can be a real drag to be, it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and you're getting ready to wind down, and then you have to prepare food. Having 10 to 20 meals, I know that sounds like a lot, but 10 to 20 meals in the freezer is not much space. A Pyrex soup size glass bowl can hold 2 servings typically for an adult female of my size anyway. If you're a bigger guy or have a heartier appetite, you certainly can probably partake in one entire dish as a meal. But I have probably 24 meals in my freezer right now, and they're for a pinch. If I have a friend over, if I am going to travel and I didn't get my meal prep done for the week, like I said, you have a backup. Having a backup to your plan is really sweet. Now, it takes a little bit to get there. You do have to do at least 1 big batch or 2 big batches of something to get stored in there, but that's pretty straightforward. It's basically like your meal prep, but you're prepping something that's going to go in the freezer. I like to prep things throughout the week, my 1 or 2 times. I like to already make an extra that's going to go in the freezer. And then for your primary is your meal prep 1 to 2 times a week. I like a Sunday, and then whatever other days, if I run out of almond milk, then I'm just going to make it. It's going to be every 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 days. I have to soak those nuts ahead of time the night before. So pretty easy to get into a rhythm of that. Certainly, if I miss one of those prep days, I could find myself in trouble as far as not having enough food. That's when I go to my freezer selection. So, Melissa, you are not alone out there. This is just a matter of planning and staying on top of it. It is challenging to just do your meal prep with no backup because you only have to slip once and then all of a sudden you're off your rhythm. So the meal prep once or twice a week, whatever works in your schedule, whatever you build in, that's for the majority of, let's say, 80% of what you eat, right? You have that built, set aside. If you do make any soups, any stews, anything that freezes well, even like a casserole, make a little more than less, and you can always put it in the freezer and have it for a later date as your backup. Your primary is primary. Your backup is for when you fall short on your primary. So having those meals, 10 to 20 meals, I think is a good amount, depending on how big your freezer is. You could go bigger. I have a smaller size freezer, so I'm not overloading it. I also have like 6 weeks worth of cat food in there at any one time. So I have my freezer pretty well stocked. And certainly you could jar things and have those in the pantry ready as a backup, some more dry goods. But primarily the meal prep is about your main meals, your lunch, your dinner. I typically make breakfast on my own, and then lunch and dinner has been prepared for me. Those items typically don't freeze very well, so they are my primary that I am eating, throughout the week. And then soups and stews, casseroles, things that I can freeze, they will go in the freezer and be my backup plan for a rainy day. If I have a friend over, if I throw my schedule out of whack, if I've traveled and I didn't get to meal prep and I have like 3 more days without meals, not a problem. I can utilize this backup stash. The peace of mind that comes with having that backup is really essential. You should never be stressed to feed yourself. There's so much nourishment that comes through our eating that we want it to be really a blissful event. Whether we're foodies or not is beside the point. I myself have said often, if I could take a pill and have the same health benefits from the clean eating that I do, but I ate nothing, I just took this pill, I would take it in a heartbeat. I do enjoy eating clean, and I do enjoy even the prep in some part, but most of all, in all honesty, if I think of like where my journey has brought me, what I enjoy is the consistency. I'm eating different things. I'm constantly trying to implement new flavors and new dishes into my diet. However, I have such a consistent, clean eating that really has become my foundation. It has become the sustenance that allows me to stay on top of my hydration, that allows me to go and train with a trainer or do my daily walks. It allows me to sleep better at night. If I eat well, I'm doing really, really well. I think whoever said you are what you eat was really, really close. I think it is there is great truth in that adage. I do believe that we are more so what we digest, and we'll get into cleaner options and really altering food choices for betterment in a later episode. However, we like to start and just get into the routine of preparing and being one with those meals each and every week. And again, if you fall behind, give yourself some grace, be patient, have that backup in place. Certainly someone like Melissa with a young child, she's doing food prep for the child anyway. So this is where the reminder is so many moms were out there providing all this great nutrition and intentional meals, and planning goes into our kids' meals. And then we're just like, over in the corner, rocking back and forth, sucking on a ginger ale pop and eating saltines, whatever the case may be. This is a time for you to take back your power, prepare meals for yourself with great thought, because this is a lifelong. So hopefully some of that information you can apply to your wellness preparation. Thank you, Melissa, for the text. Again, if any of you have any questions, comments, you want to share what's working for you, you can comment down below. If you have any questions at all, would like to share a part of your journey, feel free to text the word yes at 206-483-2960. Again, text the word yes to 206-483-2960. That is a free texting community for our wellness members. Anybody who's looking to better their experience, strengthen their skill set, eat better, whether related to Nutritious Meals or any of the other stable table legs, feel free to text at any time. Those do come directly to me, and it is a private texting community. We appreciate your time and giving a listen today. If you have any feedback, also, you can leave it in the comments. Send us a text. If you have missed the hydration episode or the exercise, daily exercise, you can check those out here, as well as if you want to know more about my stable table or mindset. All of those episodes are ready for you here. So we'll see you on the flip side. Until then, be awesome. Thank you so much for listening today. If you feel any part of this episode resonated with you, then please consider sharing it with a friend who may also find value in it. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And before you go, did you know we have a fantastic free text community? If you want more bite-sized health hacks and reminders delivered directly to your phone, absolutely free, then text keyword yes to 206-483-2960. Again, that's keyword yes to 206-483-2960. And we'll see you on the inside.